I forget where we were.
We were on traveling back towards your home base, which isn't a scene that we need to really worry about. And instead, we're going to deal with you guys contacting your patron through their patron
Captain.
commissionaire.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds like the captain's job.
Yeah. Well, you guys are shooting and flying.
You're paging and
Me and Dell are setting up a call with our boss.
Priority transmission. Urgent.
Yeah.
Double urgent.
Yeah, so strangely enough, you actually do get a hold of her.
Why is it
And,
strange?
well, she doesn't normally just take calls, but I
No.
suspect she was hoping to get this one coming on in, so...
Nice.
I don't know if you remember Commissioner Fu Ying.
Fu Ying, yeah.
Fu Ying is
oh yeah.
kind of severe, and she is currently wearing a white suit with a very lovely white tie and white shirt, and her black hair is all pulled back, and she pops up. Are you putting her as a hologram or just AR, or how much do you want these fools to be involved?
Oh, those guys?
Yeah.
No, they're busy manning the guns and flying the ship. They don't need to be distracted.
You guys got away, so you didn't do that
Yeah.
during the combat. So you are currently flying, but you're flying across space towards this location. So
I mean, I'm placing the call as soon as
as soon as you
possible.
hit,
So
as soon as you break
know,
orbit, right?
yeah, so they're still making sure we're not being followed.
Okay.
That kind of stuff.
Cool. So we're in the action. So we see behind it. You're like looking around and scanning, and all that sort of stuff's going on behind you, and you're behind. There's the bridge area, and then behind there is like a little bit of a planning kind of area, and then it's kind of close to the door that would go to the ready room and stuff. And so you basically have a big hollow table, like you'd see in Mass Effect or something. But you can use it for a variety of things. So if you go AR, you'll just be seeing her there in front of you. If you go hologram, she'll be like on top of the table or something. So you see her projected before
AR.
you, and she has her hands kind of clasped behind her back, and she goes, "Captain Zatol, good day. I hope you have good news for me."
We do. We've got a scan of what we believe is the Marquitaru main base.
Interesting. Send me that information, and we shall talk about your contract once it is verified.
Yes.
I was hoping for something more detailed than what we got, but there were what do you call the fighters or whatever that they scrambled? Shuttles.
They had
They had several squadrons of shuttles that meant we had to get out of there in a hurry.
Oh well, I suppose we will come across them eventually. So you send her the info?
Yep.
So you send her all the info for the contract then? There's like a big packaged up and you wrote report. Because this XMI likes reports. So you're probably quickly typing the end of the report. You had everything filled out before you, on your way down to the planet probably, and you just filled in the appropriate aspects. And Dell popped up during that time. Looks like you're writing a contract report. And helped you fill it out, get it all done. So you see her, she's like, please send it. Interesting. I will have my analysts analyze this, and we'll send in, we'll do what we need to do. Thank you so much. I will consider this contract complete.
Nice.
Booyah.
Nice.
After you finish up. So
what?
the one thing you have to do at the end of every contract is we tally how much money you have, and then you trade that out for complex material and supply or trade goods. You can also add things to the trade articles and that sort of thing. So she basically thanks you, says the contract is complete, and transfers you to basically a sub-deck port officer for exchanging payment. So the way payment is we make all this come out to 0 in the end on the contract. So I don't know if you've ever done any accounting, but it does fit with that. So you basically
I try not to.
You do all your pluses and minus all your minuses, and then add all the minuses you can for the materials until you come up with what you need. I talked about when you do trade, you can add extra reserve in to decrease the price or whatever, but that's only for trade goods, just so you know. You don't have any reserve anyways, it's all spent. I just thought I would mention that. So, let's do some math, I guess. There's still places in this game for some math. I don't seem to have...
Let's do the maths.
Doing maths, as the Brits say. Okay, so... Oh, you can't see this. Funny. Okay, so we've got 200 plus 200 plus 100 plus 100 plus 300 plus 110 for the guy you killed minus 100 for all your privileges minus 100 for the complex materials you've already checked out equals 810 RV worth of materials you need to buy.
That's what I got too. That's
awesome.
Confirmed.
So we can update your complex materials to 81 additional to 91, or you can also buy supply. Supply costs. I'll double check the price so we make sure we get this all perfect. But supply materials. What is that? Okay.
Space wrap.
Each unit of supply is worth 5 RV, while each unit of complex materials is 10. You don't have points to add trade goods to this, so we don't have to worry about the trade goods. And you don't need to buy any assets or anything right now. You can do that on the next contract. So, do you want it all in complex materials? Complex materials that are used to do things like advance your character, advance your ship, and repair it and stuff. Supply is used to all the armor on your EVA suits and activate all your other stuff. So how much supply do you currently have?
We're down to 13 supply.
So you probably want a little bit of supply and a bunch of complex materials.
Yeah.
So what do you think? 70 complex materials, and that would leave 11 or 110
supplies.
So I'm going to change this complex material on the contract to 80 in total, and change that to negative 900. So I'm minusing, oh no, negative 800. Sorry, I did the math in my head wrong. Okay, so I'm minusing 700 from this. So these you have 110, and that, instead of being divided by 10, is divided by 5. It gives you 22 supply.
Nice. Spend it all.
Okay, so you need to add 70 complex materials, because you'd already had the 10 to the ship. So I will add
10, or we were at 9?
No, you're at 9. I'm talking about the 10 that you had bought earlier.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So you're only adding 70 rather than 80. So you're at 79, and then you're adding 22 to this. That makes 35. there you go. So that means you have just south of 40 tons of complex materials in your cargo bay once you land. And you will have about 15 tons of supply in your cargo bay. And 20 tons of marginal trade goods still. You could trade those if you could have traded those if you wanted, but you won't be able to get a good deal for them because you'd have to make a deal. Let's just do that next time. Cool. So there you go. There's another thing we can do. We can also do a salvage, and we should probably do the maintenance of your ship and yourselves to get rid of all your patches and damage. So
Right. Cool.
the contract is basically ending right now, and we will just do these other projects to finish up. So what do you want to do first? Do you want to do the repairs first?
Sure.
Or do you want to do some salvage first?
Shouldn't we do salvage first? We could.
Yeah, let's do salvage and get the info.
Sure. That makes sense.
I'm spending 7 complex materials to get rid of my other patch right now.
I believe that is a group consensus that you can do that, and I do not.
Noob Deed, you should do the same thing. So can you minus another 7 for his patch?
Okay.
I think that's all the patches we have.
There's some on the ship
individually, yeah. Then we'll take care of the ship.
Yeah.
After.
Because you're basically going back there, landing in your dry dock, and going to be doing repairs. And during that time, you'll also be doing shuttle deconstruction of these subs.
All right. I'm going to take the 7 off for Nadeeb's patch too.
Okay.
Thank you.
So that should make it a 65. And then
We're swimming in material. Swimming.
Let's just do all the repairs right now. It's easier.
Okay, ship patches are 8 each.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And we have 4 of those.
Gosh.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4.
She needs her
So
belly
it's 30,
run.
32.
I'll do the math real quick. So that's 8 times 4 is 32. Yep.
So we're down to 33 complex materials.
Jeez.
You were swimming in it.
And then we have 1 armor that we didn't patch. So that's not as expensive, I think, right?
No, the armor costs 3. That's why patches suck.
Tell me about it.
Patches cost more than any direct repairs because you basically have to tear the patch off and then repair the original repair as well. So you do more damage. So
we have 2 armors that are damaged, I guess, right?
I only see 1. Your bow section has armor damage. Those are the ones that you have that armor. Yeah, it's the blacks.
Got it. Okay, there we go.
I'll change what those little things look like. I just haven't decided what they should look like yet.
Do we have armor? We have 1 thing of armor on each, right? I would think.
Yep, you have 1 armor all the way around. Okay, so that cost you 3. Did you spend that complex material?
Yeah, I spent it.
Okay, so now, yes, you are poor again.
Well, so we broke even. That's not what's supposed to happen.
No,
it's
that's
like
not
real life
at all.
Yeah, why do we do this?
Like,
well, it might be better than what you were doing before. Anyways,
apparently we do it for
bloodlust.
That and 4 shuttles.
And shuttles, yeah.
Yep. So
second-hand shuttle.
That's our profit.
Huzzah!
Nice.
Okay, so you have 4 shuttles. That's actually 4 shuttles. So it's 1 stock character. You'll get 4 stations. So not too dissimilar, but it increases the quality is higher. So I don't know. It's pretty similar. Okay. So you're basically there are organic components on board, so you can do the harvester thing again. There is a labor to be done this time. There's definitely mechanics work to be done and programmer stuff to be done.
Okay.
They are biotech level shuttles, so there is actually quite a bit of the... Oh no, they're actually rim, so they're even better. Yeah, so there's lots of materials to be torn up and programming to be done and that sort of thing, and the difficulty starts at 2, as we did before. So.
Well, I can do the mechanics.
Yeah, I think I'm still like kind of terrible at all of these things.
Somebody else go first.
Is there biomechanics to be done?
Yep.
I'll do one of those.
They have life support systems and all that sort of stuff on board them.
I'll do that.
Should I start because I've got the least dice?
Yeah.
I think. I guess. Is somebody else good at the inscription thing?
No.
So I guess I could just do that.
Yeah, so this takes you several hours. So you're basically down there doing all this sort of stuff.
God, yeah, it's like none of...
You have 4 stations, though, so you can do more than one.
Like, all of these tasks just happen to be things that like, I'm terrible at. Like, you guys are... Anything I would do, you guys would do a better job at it.
Well, you all have to do something, so...
Yeah, so I guess it doesn't... Kind of doesn't... Like, I basically have 2 dice and, like, all of these things, so it doesn't really matter what I do.
Yeah, because you doubled it. You're really high in the comms, right? Communications department, and that's not good for salvaging things.
Right.
Yeah, everything. It's like for inscription, I'm like good at hacking, not at this. What was this? This is a code. I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, this is code because you're basically decompiling.
Yeah, it's code, and like I'm good at medicine, not biomechanics. I'm good at even the brute labor thing. I'm good at endurance. I'm not good at strength. Was it a strength thing, right?
It could be either.
If it could be endurance, and I'm just the pack mule for you guys.
You're just lumping things back and forth. I mean, you can also use your tractor mechanics to do that sort of thing. So you have some options.
You could do what to do? What's
tractor mechanics?
Oh, I'm not good at that.
I know. I'm just saying.
I know. I
have endurance. I'm just tireless. So I'm just like.
Yep, you're just taking things apart.
Taking stuff apart. Yep.
Okay. Basically, you're helping everybody. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, you guys are both. Yeah, you guys are both like taking stuff off, and I'm just like pushing you to move faster and grabbing it and moving it out of your way.
Okay, so who wants to go first then? Because you have 4 dice in that fitness, so...
Yeah, that I'm actually good at.
Okay. So, I guess I'll go first.
Okay.
Biomechanics.
Yeah.
No advantage.
And difficulty is 2.
1 success. That's all I need.
Well, it's better than failing. Okay, so you're in there tearing apart the, they're rather minuscule life support systems and little arteries and stuff that are in there. The ships are pretty banged up because you defeated them in combat before you scooped them. Okay, who's next? It's a 3 difficulty.
Should I go next or?
Yeah, go ahead.
There we go.
Nice.
Okay, so you're moving stuff around, and he finds more biomechanical like things to harvest due to your efforts, and you get quite a few materials. Okay. So just picture like, you got these shuttles and they're all like slightly in pieces and they're nose to nose if they have noses, and they're all kind of sitting there and you're moving around. And what are you doing Audie?
Okay, say it again. They were
You're doing the material sciences one, right?
right.
Yeah, so you're basically going in and removing hull plating and trying to
Mm-hmm.
get it into a usable format, cutting it up and that sort of thing.
Right. Yeah, I imagine I was like using my my micrometer to measure out specific widths and dimensions and putting that in the plasma torch, or cutting it up.
Yeah, you're using your multi-tool for all that stuff.
Multi-tool, yeah.
Meanwhile, I'm behind you going, come on, I still got 3 tentacles free. Hand me some more stuff.
Yeah, he's holding the metal for you, and it's very...
Well, as fast as I can. Fast as humans' hands go.
Oh, that's your problem.
Yeah. What's the threat? 5?
The threat is 4.
4. Huh?
Okay, so you managed to get a little bit more. Okay. I might tweak this a little bit. Okay, and one more task. At 5 difficulty.
5 difficulty.
All right. Let's
Yeah.
do it.
Who wants to do this? Are we just going to continue cutting more metal, or draining biotech, or...
I can just keep on cutting.
How many dice do you get for that?
I have 4.
Do it. Do it.
Okay.
You can use your multi-tool, right? If you have charge on your multi-tool.
Yeah, sure, I'll charge it.
Do you have the tool one? The utility manipulator or the tractor lifter? No, you just
No,
have
I don't.
shooting things.
I just got shooting
sorry,
things.
wrong sheet.
I think yeah, no.
No, you do have a utility manipulator. If you spend 1 charge, you get an extra die. You can go 5v5.
Where is that?
It's
Oh,
mods
yeah.
for multi-tool.
Okay.
I was looking
Yeah.
at the wrong person's sheet for a second there.
Oh shit, no. Okay.
I always open the wrong person's sheet like every time. Open
Okay,
new
I'll
sheet.
spend 1. Get an advantage. And it's 5, right?
5 difficulty.
Oh!
Boom!
Didn't need that.
Okay, so you
Sounds-
the first time you did the cutting, you were just like cutting off extra bits and throwing them away. But this time you're like, okay, I figured out the math. It's all alive in my head. And you just basically
Explodes.
you figure out exactly how to origami all the metal out into like perfect cubes.
Nice.
It's like every
Minecraft.
episode, the beginning of every single episode of the original Transformers.
Is it
Instead
Energon?
of Energon and Decepticons, it's you and hull plating.
That's awesome. Nice. I like it.
Okay, so this is considered significant worth, and that means you can get 2 complex materials per pop on this. If you're wanting complex materials, which I think you do, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Unless you want trade goods, then you can get 3 tons of valuable trade goods.
Trade goods are like iffy.
Yeah, but then you can just try to sell them next contract. But if you need complex materials for the end of thing, it seems like the time to do that. So
Yeah.
2
not
times
low.
8 is 16, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I always get a mix of the 2 times 9. I don't know why. Just my brain.
What's the 8 come from?
You have 8 reserve right now.
Oh.
For each point of this reserve, you can get 2 complex materials.
But how did we come up with it? Why do we have 8 reserve?
Because you rolled a 1 or 2 or something, and he rolled a 1, and he rolled a 2, and then he rolled
It's just
a 4.
it's the total number of successes.
Yeah. So there's 2 types of projects.
We
One that
have
has
9. We have 9.
You sure?
Yeah.
Oh, he's right.
So we had 4
5,
tasks.
6. 1, 2, and 4. Oh, was this Noob Deeb one 4 successes? Wow.
Ooh, not
No,
indeed.
just one.
That was Paul's, I think.
Mine
No,
was
the very
4.
first one. So
The
I'm
very
looking-
first one,
Oh,
right?
1,
What's that one?
4, 5. You're right, it's 9. I screwed up. Okay, so you get 9 times, so you get 18 complex materials. And you get to remove those shuttles from your...
Push them out the bay.
Oh! I screwed up.
What?
You get an extra 300 RV.
Oh,
I
really?
forgot about... When you sign the contract, you get contract signing amount. It's at the very top of the sheet, so I missed it.
Nice.
Okay, so I'm going to put... You want complex materials with that as well? Did you put the 18 on the sheet already?
I did.
Okay, cool. So you get another 30 if you want complex materials with the rest of it.
Yes.
Heck yes.
There we go. So
Awesome.
oh, I'm like, that seemed kind of low. That's why I added that.
I was like,
signing
life
bonus
in
thing.
space is
Hard? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we are all repaired. We've
Salvaged.
salvaged the shuttles we've stolen from the enemy. And everything's good.
Now, what can we buy?
Okay, let's talk about that. What can we buy? So, what we're talking about is you can do advancement. Okay, so if you want to get a new tool mod, it costs you 15 complex materials per person.
Yeah.
Each tool can have up to 3 tool mods. I think. That seems wrong. I'll double check that. Don't worry about that yet. That seems low, actually.
It's the same on the ship, too.
Ship is a different cost, and they're called system mods. They're 30 for ship ones.
Jeez.
And reactor capacity costs 30. EVA suit upgrades, like if you want to be able to get more armor on your EVA suit, Adi, I know you're the one without many of them, that costs 30. You can get a new skill specialty, costs 25. You can get augmentation, like new features on your sheet, like you can grow wings and stuff. You can do that sort of thing, but it's even more expensive. It's 60 for functions. Features are 40, and survival ones, those little extra armors, are 20. And you can only have a certain number of those as well. And these numbers are all wrong, I think, so I'll have to double check them next time for the limit. But the upkeep, you start getting upkeep on your character as well. So pretty much, you know how when you do maintenance to repair yourself, so say you get hurt and you need to repair yourself, once you get maintenance on there, you have to pay that on top of the regular cost.
Bummer.
And that is recorded in an upkeep, and it shouldn't be, so I'll change that as well.
This is why we're playtesting.
Yeah, I guess so.
So upkeep needs to be in supply.
Why do I have 8 debt in my retirement plan? That's not right.
Yeah, it is.
Jeez.
And we'll do that after we do all this sort of stuff. So yes, those are the sorts of things you can do. You can advance your crew members. The cheapest things are tool mods. You can advance your launch, and you can advance your ship. So ship system mods cost 30. Reactor capacity aboard ship costs 60. Hull armor costs 60. A new amenity costs 8. And a new module costs 20. So if you want that brig, it'll cost you 20 complex materials. And then you can reconfigure where everything is on your ship as well.
I wonder that. I don't know, it worked all right. Yeah, a brig would be nice.
I wouldn't mind a die in atmospheric thrusters.
Yeah, a holodeck. Yeah.
Holodeck, top priority.
Well, at least one of those nippy chessboards with the hologram piece.
So things you can buy.
So the atmospheric thrusters would cost 30?
Atmospheric thrusters would cost you 30.
Yeah, if we can afford it. I don't know what our total was.
78 right now.
Oh, that's a lot then. Captain gets to choose.
What do you mean? I get to choose too.
Well,
So
basically what I mean is anybody who isn't you gets to choose.
Why? No.
Humans. Humans and their weird holographic fetish pursuits.
If you had more crew members, so there's different things you can get. So if you look on there, there's 4 ship modules you do not have installed, plus 2 for laboratory upgrades.
Laboratory upgrades.
So say you want to do, say you're doing that salvage tasks that you were doing, and you want to be good at doing that. If you upgrade your ship module and you spend 1 supply on the suspension bench, you can make it easier to salvage those shuttles. And you get 2 dice. And you just have to spend 1 supply to get those 2 dice. Because modules are all powered by supply. So if you look in the hydroponics, you got 1 there for passenger per day. So if you had more 6 people aboard your ship, you'd have to spend 1 per day the passenger was there. And then your ready room, this is how you get your EVA suit fittings. And you guys do this all the time, so you know that. You've done the insect, you started about doing the internal security stuff. Because there's only 1 guy, you decided against it. If you get a brig, you have to pay for the prisoner to be in there, and you got a cell stunner, and you can produce restraints for a single supply without doing like a project, that sort of thing. There's hidden compartments where you can spend like supply on scan blockers and holoprojectors to make them hard to find, and you can put passengers in them if you're going to smuggle people in them and that sort of thing. There's a ram. RAM allows you to attack with the piloting thing without really risking damage as much. And if you spend 5, you can inflate a boarding lock. So if you're going to get aboard someone's ship, you can ram them, inflate a boarding lock, and send in the Marines. Considering that's just Audi, might not be the best idea.
But if we want to become space pirates, that would be the direction to go.
Yes.
That would be it.
Speaking of being a space pirate, there's the launcher, which shoots AoE projectiles and basically gives you a secondary weapon on your ship. But that weapon basically fires money at people.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Each torpedo costs 9 supply.
Oh,
jeez.
so expensive.
Chaff costs 3 supply. Plasma mines cost 5. Indictor mines cost 7.
Oh, geez.
So
that's when we're like really rolling in it. Like unstoppable.
Or we make it a part of our contract that they pay for it.
No, good point.
It doesn't really work that way. You just have to get enough money to pay for it.
I guess they want somebody else to do it then.
Somebody else.
I mean, I imagine, like, contracts that involve a lot of combat are going to have to pay more, right? Because you're taking damage and, that's how it works out.
Well, if you're doing a lot of combat, you would probably buy that as part of your contract, and then you would have to pay for that, but you get to keep it, that sort of thing. So,
right.
Having a secondary weapon with a smaller crew like you guys do might not be the best idea, anyways. So, if you want to upgrade something on your ship, you could do that. You could do stuff like the tractor lifter, or the kinetic deflectors on your shields, or second level and energy dissipators, or get your atmospheric thrusters. All those sorts of things you could do, and those cost 30. You could also get additional armor on your stern. During this time, you can also swap these around. So if you want to move your sensors to starboard side or something, you could totally do that. Because pretty much the ship is being partially taken apart right now.
Right. Okay.
When you buy these, you'll also increase the upkeep, but you only pay extra upkeep for the area that it's in. So, say you upgrade your pulse array, or say you upgrade your grav drives, only when you repair the stern of your ship will you have to pay the upkeep. Right? Because each section has its own upkeep. So, if you manage to absorb all the damage of your bow all the time, you don't have to pay the extra upkeep. Because that's just an extra fee you have to pay each time.
So when you are taking damage to a section of the ship, we haven't actually taken damage beyond our armor. So
you have.
Have we?
Yeah, you took one of the reasons you had patches on the stern is because you took
that's right.
resilience. I think you might have taken. So what resilience does is that basically that turns into, as you can see, a die. So basically you get a disadvantage all the time. If you take this, it actually is disabling systems at integrity. So when you start taking structural integrity damage, it starts disabling systems. The last one is your vitality. Basically means the whole section's shut down.
Okay.
Yikes.
So there's also, you could take them on yourselves instead of on your ship. So each of you could take 15 to upgrade a piece of equipment, or each of you could take 25. I don't know if you have 25 each. You do. You would be basically blowing through all of it. You could take 25 each and gain a single skill specialty.
Do some training.
I think we need more in reserve to pay for stuff. If you know.
Well, you're gonna be doing a new contract, and you can get.
That's true.
You can get some materials right away at the beginning of the contract.
That's true.
Yeah, it's not the end all be all, and the way the system works, it doesn't fuck you until the end of the contract. Like, it's not like D&D where you don't get them until you do the job. You get in advance.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'd be down with that too.
Gaining a specialty each. And
yeah, that's
anywhere on the sheet, you can gain one specialty and put it wherever you want. And remember, you could move it next session.
Those are one of the sub ones, right?
Yeah, you can't really gain the other ones ever.
Right.
You never increase your skills.
Well then, do I shore up weaknesses or increase my strengths?
The big thing is, which department do you want to put it in? Because you can't move it from departments.
That's what I mean, right? Like, my communication skills are garbage. Engineering is mostly garbage. Operations now. That's not bad.
It's up to you, man. So, are you guys going towards getting skills or skill specialties or what?
What is how does the captain want to utilize the funds?
Because you do have enough. You'll be down to like 3 or something complex materials, but you'll have plenty of supply, and you'll be able to trade for trade goods and stuff once you start your next contract and do all that sort of stuff. So, see, one of the things you could have done last time is when you got to that place, bought a bunch of trade goods, made sure you reduce the price. Then when you came back to this planet, traded those trade goods in by doing another thing. Like, go, okay, we're not ready to finish our contract entirely. I need to make a deal to sell this stuff. And then padded your bottom line a little bit that way.
Gotcha.
But that's something you learn when you're like, hey, crap, money's good. And we don't have a lot of it. So, what does everybody think?
I'm good either way.
I like extra dice.
Dice are good. I guess the question is, do we want a brig because we were wanting a brig, but that was for that mission. Our next mission, a brig might. I don't know that that's the kind of missions we necessarily.
Yeah, do we want to shy away from taking prisoners?
Want to focus on.
Right.
Yeah, brigs might not be as useful. You could also build one that lasts for a short period of time until it's done whatever it's doing. Because the way fabrication works is that you can build a tool or temporary module or whatever you need, and it lasts for the scene or until it's finished its intended purpose. So, say you fly off in deep space and have a bunch of dudes to arrest, you could build yourself a brig. It wouldn't have all the fancy stuff where you can spend this or that, but it would be a place that your dudes are secure inside, and that it's hard for them to get out. They'll have to... You'll be able to defend against them getting away without having to stand there like an idiot the whole time. They'll be secure. So you could do that. So you could spend a bunch of supply and build one when you need one. You have a mechanic. He's good at this sort of thing.
Yep. That's why we keep him around.
So the only bad thing about doing the skill specialty thing is you're going to get some upkeep, but that's what happens when you start upgrading your character. So each character will get 3 upkeep. 3 RV upkeep. And I'll change that to a supply number later.
Alright, so do we just want to do that?
So why do we get upkeep for adding the skill dice? Is it just...
So what it is it's actually a skill... When you get a skill specialty, your natural training, is like, say you go to the gym in real life. Well, how that's represented in this game is at the beginning of every session, you get to move your training around.
Okay.
You get to move your specialties around within the department.
Okay.
That represent because the reasoning behind that is you are ignoring spending time on the computer, keeping your hand-eye coordination up, playing the Vigi games, and instead you're running outside like this to keep up your physical fitness. So one goes down, another one goes up. This is you're augmenting yourself with basically like Shadowrun Skillsoft. Like you're putting in a biotech augmentation that makes you better at stuff, whatever stuff you're talking about.
Gotcha.
So it's like you're modding yourself. So instead of getting a tool mod, which is cheaper, you could get more tool mods, although you wouldn't have 50. You wouldn't be able to get 2 each because you don't have enough for 2 each. But you'd have to pay charge to do the tool mods and stuff. If you get this die, you never have to spend charge on it.
Right.
So that's the lowdown on that situation.
Wait, who is? Yeah, it just depends on if it's worth. I mean, it would be worth it, sure.
Okay.
So what are we doing? What's the final lowdown?
It sounds like Audie wants to do the skill specialty augmentation. Yeah. What do you want to do?
Works for me.
Okay.
Sounds good. Okay,
we got 3 votes. You guys don't have to do it equally either, but you want to. That's great. That's a good crew thing to do. Okay, so I'll reduce your... Oh, you already did it. Thank you, Captain.
He's on top of it.
So everybody, you get to add 1 skill specialty, and just be careful which department you put it in, because you can't change it. You can change what skill, just not what department.
Who's good at hack?
Captain is.
How many dice do you have?
I mean, I've got 2 in hack and 1 in trace.
Okay, I got 2 at the moment. I could put another in hack and have 3.
Or engineering dice?
What?
Because remember, you get to move the specialties around within the department.
Right. Oh yeah.
So you already have. What do you have? You have
a lot in engineering. Yeah.
You have a 2 in hack right now.
Yeah, I got 2 in hack. In inscription, so 2.
An inscription. But what? But this.
Like 2 total if I were to hack. Which aren't in hack or just inscription.
Yeah, so I have 2 in inscript and 2 in hack. So
nice. Okay. Okay, never mind. I'm not going to do that then.
Remember, it really more matters which department you put it in,
Yeah.
because you can change it at the beginning of sessions.
I'm really low in
by
communications. I might do that.
Yeah, if you want to actually be able to talk to people,
Yeah,
then putting them in communications is a good idea.
I think I'm gonna do that.
And then just put in whatever you want right now.
Okay.
Like, there you go.
I put one in
Inside.
inside.
Boom.
There you go. Done.
I'm going to do the same. Performance. Boom.
You're like, I need to lie more.
Yeah.
Now dance, monkey.
So
Cool.
yeah, so you go in and you go to the lab and you put this thing in your head, and now you know how to do all the improv games and stuff like that.
Mhm.
It's great.
Horrific.
Sweet.
And you start noticing like when people are lying to you a little bit better. Audie, so you're not like, hey, oh, you're making fun of me. You hear Audie say one time, and he starts yelling at some guy.
Oh, he
He's
does
been making fun of him for months. He just noticed finally.
You guys are coming to my my performance, right? I got you free tickets.
Power discernment.
Okay, give me a place in space, a job in space, and a space in space. Okay.
Whoa.
I'm an astronaut on Pluto.
Gosh. Like Red Dwarf.
Yep.
Okay, Zatal, what did you get?
I threw it in
Fashion.
in code.
Nice.
Ah, you put it into engineering. Awesome.
Nice.
Cool. So the other thing you have to do is you have listed. Oh, I have to find it. I always forget where I put it on this sheet. Okay, so your upkeep. Everybody increase their upkeep to 3.
Where's that?
It is with your
Down by the
condition
patches.
slots and you're next to your patches.
Oh,
Because
okay.
that's when you spend it, is when you do your patches. I'm going to change that
Gotcha.
to a amount of supply later.
Hmm.
I have to figure out the math behind that because it's probably going to be a little more expensive than
Cool.
which sucks. But
Coo.
okay, so pretty much we have a montage of you guys doing all that work.
A
and
montage.
then you get genetically enhanced, and we see a little bit of that, and you guys practicing your new skills,
Fast path.
and it's all like cool, and you're like, I know kung fu. I mean, I know improv dancing or whatever.
Yeah.
I can
Shakespeare.
lie. Can you? No. Ooh, see, I did just now. That's really
You're
dramatic.
good. You are good.
Okay, so you spend a bit of time putting that in, and spend some time on the ship. Did you guys want to move anything around on your ship? Oh, you guys didn't do anything on your ship, but you can do it during the time when you do the repairs. So
I mean, we had patches repaired and whatnot.
yeah, did you
That's
want to
better.
move like Stuff around.
Yes, I think now that
Do
we
we?
have, yeah.
Like what?
Spread some things around.
I thought everything worked.
Like we probably like there's some things like I feel like we might as well have like the reactor and the grab drive together, because if we lose either one of those, we're kind of dead in space anyway.
well, what happens when
That kind of thing, you know.
when your reactor goes out? Pretty much you lose all charge.
Hmm.
You can't charge anything. You're still getting power. It still
Oh,
kind of
okay.
works. Like things are still drawing enough power to actually work, but you can't actually charge anything. When you lose the grav drive, you can't move, but you're still gonna have your shields and your weapons and stuff like that. So you can technically defeat dudes and then just fix your ship and fly away.
We could put the reactor on the bow.
That will mean you would decrease the size of your cargo bay. Just
Dope.
so you know. You could. It's fine if you want to put your reactor and your grav drive together. You could swap that and swap your reactor and your sensors, or
Yeah, I
move
don't
your
know.
sensors onto the starboard side. Although your starboard side is pretty full. We'll have to do some.
I don't know enough about it.
Well, you've been using it for a little bit, so you guys were really unhappy when I pounded your stern.
Yeah, every time.
And a bit because you're like really worried about because you have your sensors, your grav drive, and your pulse array there.
Yeah, like maybe taking
So
one of those
should we
things out.
Spread them around a bit.
So you
Spread out the vitals.
So you could put your grav drive.
Let's see. What's our total in the starboard?
Well, anybody got a calculator? It's annoying amount of addition.
Yeah, I feel like I want to put this stuff into a spreadsheet and then shuffle it around.
Well, there's technically possible to get things to add up, but I have to do a bunch of crazy stuff to do that. Making HTML add up. HTML doesn't do that, so I have to use either the on-sheet mechanics or the other one. It's really obvious on the paper sheet because you have a little grid, and you just fill it in, and then you can see how much space there is. But I racked my brain for a bit, and it's even more complex to have a meter that shows how full the drive is. So 66 SU, and then minus what it's full of right now. Did you do the math?
I'm working on it.
Well, I trust
Okay,
Captain.
so your stern has 60, and your port has 40 out of the 66. So it'd be pretty easy to move your pulse array or your sensors between them.
It's a meaty.
Are you holding that cat? Petting
Oh
it?
yeah, yeah.
You
So
pet
way to
that.
stop him.
Pet that cat.
Okay, once we do this, we'll do the retirement stuff, and then we might call it a day. And
Okay, so we've got
Sounds good.
49 in the starboard.
Okay.
Okay, so we could put one of these systems in there.
That would make it 69. You can't.
Oh, 60. Okay, we'd have to. Yeah, but we could move some. We'd have to move something out.
Yeah, you'd have to move something. And there's certain things that have to be in the same area as other things.
Can't we get like a
hydroponics and your galley have to be together because that's where you get your food and
Right.
your laboratories
That's
and your.
that's where new deed grows his weed.
Yep.
Okay, so the galley and the hydroponics go together, and what was the other thing?
I will look at the list.
Can't we get a visual representation of our ship? That'd be exciting.
It would
Right.
be, wouldn't it? I think that'd be awesome.
Go get your
I'll make it.
sketch pad.
I'll make
Get
it.
to drawing.
All right, just make boxes.
No. Well, the like I said, the paper version of the sheet has boxes on it that you fill in.
Yeah.
But I
wanna
couldn't
see
make that
that.
work on here very easily.
Oh.
It's actually quite difficult. I'd have to create the drag system where I'd have a little thing on the side that I'd have to have, and then you drag the different boxes into these lists. But it likes to make lists, so making a quad one is kind of difficult.
Oh.
Okay, so it is not in here. Oh, I gotta move that there too. Okay, so when you, it's in commissioning for sure. Commissioning, configuration. Okay, so, what the hell, where is it?
So like it's good that we have the grav drive and the shields separated, because being able to dodge or absorb things with shields, you definitely don't want to lose both of those at the same time.
Yeah.
You could swap your
And then
sensors in your
I feel-
reactor.
I feel like
Is this part of the game? Is this? Are you pulling from like a Traveler or? I played this board game called Battle Stations. It's a lot like the
I'm
combat.
pulling from everything, man.
Yeah, well, I figured, but I was just wondering.
This laydown, there's a few different war games where you play ships and stuff, and they have kind of configuration systems, but they work in a bunch of different ways. I've tried like 5 different versions of that, and I liked this one the best.
Cool.
Okay, I don't know where it is in my damn book. That's really weird. I thought it was here.
Maybe we should do it offline.
Yeah.
Mostly because I'm starving.
Okay. Let's not worry about that. If you want to swap 2 things, go ahead and do that. Otherwise, we can do it next time. So, let's do some retirement project, and then we'll call it a night.
Sweet.
Okay, so...
Oh, need retirement? I live for today. Spend all my money.
Who wants to
On
start?
grog.
So the way this works is you recall an opportunity that happened during play. And you're going to do kind of like a downtime action. You choose a station, something like engineering, entertainer, instructor, lobbyist, which is a very social one that Zatal might be interested in. Marine, you're hiring yourself out or doing that sort of stuff. Scholar, scientist, or scout. And then you're going to do a task depending on how good that opportunity is. And then you're going to add to the reserve on your sheet. And then later, when you get enough money to be able to spend on this, you're going to be able to spend those reserves to get shares.
Cool.
So, did you get that, Brian?
Yeah.
Cool.
Lobbyist sounds interesting for Zatal.
Okay,
yeah.
so what we just need to do is figure out what the opportunity was. Let's talk about during play and what your retirement plan is. If there wasn't an opportunity that you made sense to your character, like there wasn't a faction that you went, hey, I have some idea like how to get in there, or some location you're like, hey, I can go there and mine that, or I can do this science or talk to these people. You can do a more general one, or that'd be a marginal opportunity where you're just trying to dig around to get new contacts kind of idea for the lobbyist. Or you can do a scheme, like you have a plan and you inform me of that plan, and then we figure out what the difficulty, and that will determine the difficulty. And that basically allows you to add to the world, and then you're going to basically fill out what you're doing here. So you don't say exactly what you're doing, just what your retirement plan is. Like at this point, it's probably going to be something vague, like contacting through my network to find, like, what sort of retirement are you looking for your character? What sort of future do you want? This is your side hustle, so you need to kind of figure it out. Anybody got any ideas? Any contacts that they might have made during the thing or during play that would help with it and that sort of thing?
Well, I only had 2, and one of them dissolved, so it's got to be Anna Deep Dama, my acquaintance, also with Xiaomi Musk IG.
Yeah,
she was on the mining planet.
Okay, so you don't have to actually decide. You'll notice on your retirement sheet, and your retirement widget here, there's a faction listed. You do not have to determine the faction you're actually trying to deal with for your retirement until your shares outnumber your debt.
Gotcha.
So if you just want to say make headway by talking to the Anna, which would get you a +1 because she's a contact, but with the various, because you've met quite a few of your people, and
but it's a huge company, corporation, right?
Your people.
Oh, my people.
Yeah.
So the Onyx.
You could chase the Onyx thing and do a social task kind of thing, or that sort of.
Yes, I want that spear.
So you want to spend some time talking to the people on that area and trying to figure out what you're going to do in your retirement. Yeah. So we can put right an exploratory kind of thing here. So under
Okay.
retirement plan, fill out, make up kind of an exploratory thing. It's a little bit like writing a belief in Burning Wheel or
I
something.
can't. Oh, I see. So.
I have no idea.
So depending on what he writes here, we'll determine whether this is a marginal difficulty or a scheme. You really want it to be a scheme or a golden opportunity. But no golden opportunities that I noticed came up. You guys didn't really like click it off and figure somebody you're gonna want to work with and do some stuff for them or any of that sort of stuff, or find an ancient mine that's unexplored or that sort of thing.
No.
There.
Okay. Cool. So that sounds like you're going to basically be doing... This sounds like a bit of a scheme. Like you're going out there and trying to contact these things. You're not just like, hey, there was this Anak here and I'm going to go and talk to them or something. That would be marginal. So this is a 5 difficulty task. And it sounds like you're doing social or research. So this is either like scholar or lobbyist kind of activity you're going on.
Sure.
So you did use the word research in here. If you do research, it means you can't use your contact necessarily.
I'll use gather
social.
information at the start.
Oh, gather information. Cool. That means that's a political. You're just doing one task, and then you're going to increase your reserve by that much.
Okay. So diff 5.
Yeah. So failure on this sort of thing means that it causes entanglement that increases your debt.
Gotcha.
Okay, so there you go. So you get to change your reserve there to 3.
Sweet.
So when you say you had money right now, which you don't, you could spend 3 reserve and 30 complex materials to get 1 share.
Nice.
But if you had 7 reserve, like you roll a 4 next time, you could spend 70 complex material and get 3 shares. So it gets cheaper the more you spend at one time. But you can only bring reserve up to 9, and then it maxes out. Because your plans start going stale. Right? So, Zatol or Audi, what are their plans? Anybody want to jump up?
I mean, some cushy lobbyist job sounds pretty good as a retirement plan for Zatol.
So yeah, this isn't your job. This is what your side hustle is to explore your retirement plans.
Okay, so it's something I'm actively doing right now?
Yeah, so basically you guys park at this thing, you do these repairs, get these skill specialty augmentations, and then you're spending some time while you're waiting for your next contract. It doesn't matter how long that is, because it doesn't matter. This is just the effects of that time.
Okay, I think that I was pretty interested in the 0-point technology that I saw, the ancient technology. I think there might be some kind of hustle in that, maybe researching that.
Okay, so there was kind of an opportunity there. You do know that at the bottom of that ocean and at that mine, you could kind of go in there and basically do some mining kind of activity.
Yeah.
Which is a type of engineering thing, I think. I think I need to put mining on this as an actual thing. But yes, I'll put harvesting on here. It was supposed to be on here. Harvesting.
Oh, that's another thing. We have a sample of that ancient alien language. I wouldn't mind learning that language.
There you go.
So you can do scholar. That's an opportunity. You wrote that down on your sheet for a reason. So you're not actually you're working towards your retirement instead of actually learning the language. But we'll take that into account when we run into it. And you probably get an advantage or whatever. So you can do a scholar task, and then you need to write a retirement plan about, hey, these ancient aliens are powerful and interesting. I bet I can make lots of money off them. And that seems like you have, I would say, a golden opportunity. You have this freaking giant sample of their language sitting right there. And Audie, you know exactly where 2 mines of ancient artifacts are. So you need to write a retirement plan. And if I would probably allow you to have that as a golden opportunity as well, because you know exactly where it is.
Okay.
Your retirement plan could be Indiana Jones.
Yes.
Only the one who does sell the artifacts.
Yeah, you don't have to decide what you're doing.
This doesn't belong in a museum. This belongs in my bank account.
There you go. But this isn't really about deciding exactly what you're going to be doing. It's more about what your side hustle is to try to get something in the end. You never really know what it is, right? Until you finish your hustle.
Cool.
Okay, so I just need to see the retirement plans and read them. And then we'll do the dice rollings. Because depending on how you express it, it could be a scheme or it could be a golden opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have that piece of equipment that we were talking about, you have a good chance of going, because I have this, I'm going to do it. Because that's the opportunity you're pointing out to me in the world. It shows what you're interested in the world to me as a GM. It adds to the world, and it kind of builds the background for your character, what you've been doing in between. And I kind of made it like this so that every time you can change or rewrite your retirement plan so that it kind of updates. So your character is more dynamic. Did you delete your retirement plan or something? I heard you go.
No, I just couldn't type I couldn't spell.
Well. Yes. Chrome doesn't really do much about the spelling in these fields. I haven't seen either of yours popped out because it doesn't appear for me until you pop out of the field.
Hold on, I'm still typing.
Are you writing a book?
2 or 3 sentences,
I'm
man.
Just be careful with my wording. Okay, there I go.
It was the best of times. It was the blurst of times.
It's my memoirs.
Okay, sure. Let's call them golden opportunities. That's 3 difficulty each. And let's see if you can roll as well as Noob Deeb did on 5.
Lucky son of a
Okay,
bear.
so the type of tasks you're doing, you're definitely doing like culture linguistics task, and I will give you +1 for the alien tech. Although it is kind of doubling down. Nah, yeah, no. It's 3 difficulty because you have the alien tech. So, if you want to roll that first at all.
I'm trying to think if I can spend charge on this, right?
Mm-hmm.
What would that...
It would be your link, probably. And it
Right,
would be your
yeah, I've
comms
got that.
browser.
Alright, yeah, let's do that. What the hell?
We all wait for the dice to pop up. 5
No.
hits!
Oh, there you go.
Bing!
I'm gonna
Okay,
fail my
awesome.
roll.
And yes.
So
you
I
can
get my charge back.
Yeah, you get your charge back. And so you change your reserve to 5. There you go. So you're going to really need... you can only get 4 more before you're going to max out your reserve. So you're going to have to start spending money. So you have to make money. Okay, cool. Okay, let's do yours. So, You're going to exploit this knowledge. How are you doing this? Are you actually... It sounds like an engineering one. You're going down there and looking at the remains of this stuff and bringing out materials and analyzing them and stuff like that, right?
Yeah. Right.
Okay. So you know it's a little bit in kind of crazy right now. So you spend some time down there digging around, looking at materials, scanning them, and that sort of thing. So let's do... material science would make some sense if you're examining the materials particularly. Code might make some sense. Archaic technology could make some sense.
Yeah.
Those ones would make sense.
It's your call.
It's up to you. What do you... it's going to flavor how we do this too a little
right.
bit. You want to explain what happened?
Well...
I don't know. Did I give you proper feedback there, Newt Slater? You're muted.
You said yes.
Okay.
Shut up. Sorry, what was that?
Did I give you feedback on what your retirement plan meant at the 3? Okay, so you go down to that world, and you did gather information, right?
Yep.
So you spend a bunch of time basically going between social locations like bars and the spice markets and that sort of thing, kind of learning the culture and interacting with other Onyx and their particular culture and learning a lot about House Sosperetta. And they're like a knowledge first faction. They're all about research and development and that sort of thing. This place is one of the major things. I mean, they export these spices and everything, but they also are basically doing like genome studies and of all the different plants on here. There's tons to learn, but it has to be learned in bulk now. Like you basically, in our real life time, when you take like DNA and stuff, you learn a ton from every little thing. But now it's just like, if you get huge swaths of like these alien kingdom of plant lives and then compare them to the other ones that you have, you can learn a lot of different things and how to do different stuff and biotech shit neither of us really understand in real life. So they're doing a lot of that sort of thing. You hear about that. You don't really meet anyone in particular because you're doing gather information. You're just kind of listening and talking to like everybody all at the same time.
Yeah. Attending seminars.
Yeah, you
conferences.
Bars, clubs.
Bars. Yeah.
Science places. You might spend a little bit of time actually working in one of the little places for a period of time and listening and learning stuff and taking a little training here and there and stuff like that. So, yeah, they're doing lots of biotech. The Onyx are pretty accepting there. You probably learn a little bit about that blade and that sort of thing.
I go back and I tip that musician.
Yeah, and he's so surprised to see you.
We become
Did you
best
write
buds.
him down as a character? As a contact?
I did not write him down as a contact because he didn't really like me that much, but...
You could have written him down as a different one, but...
Well,
I don't know if we even know his name anymore.
I don't think we ever did.
Yeah. So, yeah, you can write him down as a...
That Anak musician.
And he is probably
an acquaintance.
Acquaintance, yeah. Unless you start a relationship.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Okay, so Zatol, you do an excellent job of analyzing this language. Your room, and you basically have an entire, like, mind rooms full of alien symbols. You probably steal a little bit of, like, Audie's probably bringing back some materials and stuff, and maybe you get some more, like, extra stuff off of those and that sort of thing. So pretty much you can walk into any big blank space, and sometimes to look at it all at the same time, you'll do it in the cargo bay. You just spring up and every surface is covered in these arcane runes and these different, and the language is really weird. It looks like it's been adapted to lots of different ways of speaking, lots of other languages. It's like an undertext or subtext on all these other languages at the same time. It's really complex. You don't learn the language. We're not going to write down alien language number A or something. But you feel a lot more like you could probably learn it. It'd be a really complex language. It doesn't seem to be related to everything, but it seems to yeah, it's one of the things in linguistics that you always learn is like the languages have something to do with the peoples. Like hardcore linguistic people will be like, they can analyze what a people's like by how their language works. Like if they have a complex vocabulary around tea, then obviously they have a particular cultural language around tea. And if they have a complex language around murder killing, then they probably have a system around that. And so you mostly learn this kind of fact that they have this huge subtext and that they're really adaptable to other languages in this kind of odd way that you've never seen anywhere. Not that you're the ultimate expert. Are you a culture expert?
I'll be the most in the group.
No, you're not. So this is complex, and you do some readings of experts. You don't find out you don't see anything like this in your research. Maybe a true expert in this might. You might be an idea that maybe your next scheme might be to learn and meet people involved in this. But who knows? Maybe your next mission to be entirely involved in this. You do it as part of your contract. Okay, finally, Audie, let's do yours. Your mind.
I feel like this is like kind of subverting me, but like archaic technology, because I feel like this is gonna. I'm not necessarily concerned about the material aspect of it, getting that, but I feel like it's gonna lead me somewhere else that might be a big payoff.
Okay, that makes sense. Let's do it. And remember, you're probably using your scanner.
So I can use my.
So you can use charge for the scanner.
Yeah, I'll do that. Okay, now that last one.
I mean, if you say you're taking it apart in a certain way, we can say you're using your utility manipulator, but it makes more sense your scanner. Like you're taking it apart, and depth analyzing is exactly what you're doing. You're analyzing how this stuff works, how these all these devices work.
I think that's about it. Okay. And then the threat is 5, you say?
No, this is a golden opportunity. You found a bunch of this shit and you're analyzing it. It's 3.
3? Okay.
This isn't a personal scheme that you came and inserted into the game. Okay.
0.
So you spend countless hours in this location and you pretty much don't figure any of it out. It's just freaking confusing. You burn stuff that's probably worth things. It just trying to it's kind of terrible.
Wasting my life, basically.
Yeah, it's like real life. You just wasted a bunch of ass time. So unfortunately, you don't gain any reserve for this, and you don't learn that much. You just learn that it's alien and it's weird.
That's a bummer. I was excited about that.
And you have this odd selection of paperweights.
Yay!
But you do manage to help your captain out, and he's very excited about some weird symbols he saw on some of it. And you're like, but it's a lever, and he's like, no, I swear that's the tree icon. I think I figured out one of their plants or something. And you're like, what? But it's from the roots. And you're like, what? And then he leaves, and it's just confusing, and I don't know if he even shows you, because it's all... Anyway, so that is the very first retirement project ever to go. I think it worked out pretty good. And so I think there's one thing left to do, which is discuss when we're playing next.
Next year.
It is next year. Because all the Christmas stuff's coming up. I'm actually going up north for a period of time.
Yeah.
For 4 days. But the problem is all the dates for Christmas are on Mondays. Christmas is on Mondays. New Year's Day is Monday.
Right.
So I was thinking we'd probably play on the 8th. Does anyone have anything on the 8th?
I don't think so.
Don't think so.
I love how your camera just totally fuzzed out, like you were like going soft focus there, Slayer.
That was funny. I actually have to bow out for the next one because I've got too much going on
Okay.
in the next 6 months.
We
I've got
need to find
night classes.
Okay, no problem. So I will look out to try to find another player.
I can make some suggestions too and poke
That
around.
would be great. Yeah.
Uh,
So
with the,
why don't you ping me on that?
Will do.
And I would love to have a variety of people.
Hmm
I think that's important.
If I'm able to come back after
You're banned.
after my class is done, I would love to play the same character again.
Yeah, there's no reason you can't play the same character. Your character basically is going to be reassigned or something.
You're dead to us.
Captain, no.
Miss you.
Ugh. I had
you
a
guys will
creative
need-
director that always said that sort of thing. Anyway, so let's chat offline sometime in
For
the
sure.
future. Okay, thanks.
You'll have to
everybody
find
for
your
coming.
own another hotshot pilot.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah,
But I'll
we'll
never-
just end
I'll
up with
never
no
be
good
replaced.
pilots. Terrible. Okay, thanks guys.
Later.
Cool.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. It was fun.
Yeah.
See you again.